If you're angry about the recent elections, if you're upset about the fact that we lost the House, if you think we got cheated, you can do something about it right now. You can go to writetrump.com. That's right, writetrump.com. That's WRITE Trump.com. We're going to put that graphic up for you here in a second. This is a very important project that we're spearheading right here at InfoWars. Our goal is to deliver 1 million letters to the president, urging him to direct his Justice Department to bring immediate antitrust action against the internet giants.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. Roger Stone. Roger Stone. Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. Roger Stone.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. And now, Roger Stone.
An extraordinary story on page 1 of the New York Times yesterday that says that Democrats are upset about the explosion of right-wing rhetoric on Facebook. Are these people on drugs? We have seen over the last year the wholesale censorship of conservative voices, starting with Infowars.com, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Google, on Apple, on YouTube. And now we learn that Facebook executives have given Chuck Schumer, a man who says he's opposed to corporate welfare, $50,000 in campaign contributions in this cycle alone. But oh no, that's not enough. Chuck Schumer's, no doubt, highly talented daughter is paid $160,000 a year on the Facebook payroll to do God knows what. The single most important fight that we face really has to do with censorship of the most modern technique of communications, the internet. There's no question in my mind that Republicans would have held the House of Representatives if we had had free, unfettered, and balanced access to the internet. But that was not to be. And although the president has talked in tweets and in interviews about doing something regarding the racketeering and antitrust activities that are being used to kneecap InfoWars and dozens of other conservative media outlets, sites, and bloggers, well, so far we have talk, but no action. That's why if you're angry about the recent elections, if you're upset about the fact that we lost the House, if you think we got cheated, you can do something about it right now. You can go to writetrump.com. That's right, writetrump.com. That's WRITE Trump.com. We're going to put that graphic up for you here in a second. This is a very important project that we're spearheading right here at InfoWars. Our goal is to deliver 1 million letters to the president, urging him to direct his Justice Department to bring immediate antitrust action against the internet giants. We as conservatives, generally speaking, are against regulation, but in this case, we have no choice, because we have seen conservatives decapitated across the board on Facebook. Literally, millions of people deplatformed, thousands and thousands of pages disappearing overnight. My own friend Jacob Engels finds that overnight he's no longer on Facebook. Why? Because he's a conservative, because he is a Trump supporter. And nobody has borne the brunt of this more than Infowars.com. Why is that? It's because Alex Jones is a man of enormous courage. It's because Alex Jones is a man of enormous energy. It's because Alex Jones has the fortitude to say what others will not say. And the saddest thing is that other conservatives have stood by and said and done nothing while InfoWars has been censored. There's a few standouts: Matt Drudge, Tucker Carlson. These are men of enormous courage who haven't been afraid to jump in this fight and point out that if it's Alex Jones today, well, who will it be tomorrow? Maybe even little Ben Shapiro. Oh, Ben thought it was perfectly all right when InfoWars was being censored, but now that he's being censored, why, he screams like a little bitch. So, Ben, get on board. Fight internet censorship. Let me explain the importance of going to writetrump.com. When you get there, you can sign a letter to the president. You can put your own handwritten PS into that letter, and then Alex Jones has agreed to personally pay for the postage to deliver 1 million letters to the president, urging him to take immediate action. This is a true grassroots effort to express to the president the importance of this struggle, because without a free, vibrant, and robust internet, there will be no Trump reform agenda. There will be no Trump reelection. There will be no Donald Trump legacy. You see, they realized that in 2016, they lost control of the political narrative in this country. ABC, NBC, and CBS no longer calling the shots. And now they seek to put the toothpaste back in the tube. Please take action and do it today. And spread the word among your friends and fellow info warriors. Go to writetrump.com now, and if you scroll down, you will see the letter that we hope to deliver to the president. Now, you can print the letter out yourself and mail it on your own if you wish, but we're going to mail a copy ourselves. And as I say, Alex Jones has agreed to pay for the postage. The postage for $1 million ain't chump change. That's how strongly we feel about this vital program. So instead of complaining, instead of pissing and moaning about the results of the election, instead of complaining to your friends about how we should have done better, take immediate action. If you don't want to see a repeat of 2018 in 2020, then we must have free and open access to the internet, and we must stop those who are using monopolistic, antitrust-oriented, racketeering practices, colluding together to strangle our First Amendment rights. If you love what Alex Jones does here on InfoWars, and you want it to continue, if you want to continue to get the truth, this is what you won't get from MSNBC and CNN and CBS, well then go to writetrump.com now and urge the president to take action. I must tell you, I worked with Michael Zimmerman and Alex Jones and others on this vital program, and I know the president reads his mail. So please go to writetrump.com now and send this emergency letter to the White House. Help us in the struggle for a free and open internet. I'm Roger Stone. You're on the Alex Jones Show. We've got more great stuff coming up for you. But before we leave, one more time, go to writetrump.com. The time for action is now. You know, it's an extraordinary experience to wake up in the morning and see at least 5 fake news stories that say that you are on the cusp of being indicted by special counsel Robert Mueller on the basis of Russian collusion or collaboration with WikiLeaks. Last week, I think I blew wide open the falsity of those who said that I had corresponded directly with WikiLeaks or Julian Assange, and I proved by releasing a series of text messages that after Julian Assange said on CNN in June of 2016 that he had a substantial amount of material on Hillary Clinton and he would release it, I was tipped by Randy Credico, a New York City-based talk show host on WBAI, who told me that the WikiLeaks disclosures were both significant and that they would roil the race. Mr. Credico has denied that repeatedly on MSNBC, and I get the impression he's also denied it before the Mueller grand jury and in interviews with the FBI. The problem is, I released this week a series of text messages that prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that Randy Credico was my source for the significance of those emails, and that his long-held defense that he couldn't have told me in June of 2016 that the WikiLeaks disclosures were significant because he did not meet Julian Assange until late August is irrelevant. Because in these text messages, he reveals that his source was not Assange or anyone else at WikiLeaks, but a woman attorney that he describes as his best and closest friend. Busted. Perhaps that's why the special counsel now wishes to re-interview Mr. Credico. The notion that I have somehow intimidated him because I urged David Lugo, a filmmaker who's appeared here on InfoWars, to either make a video or write an op-ed piece truthfully stating that Credico confirmed to him that he was my source regarding the significance of the WikiLeaks disclosures, and that he was my source who told me they would come in October, is laughable. How do you intimidate somebody through the exercise of your First Amendment rights and in telling the truth, the provable truth? Also, the question became, on October 2nd, when Assange held a press event but didn't release any information that particular day, he did, in fact, announce a very specific schedule for future releases, saying that there would be a release of material every week through the election, and that all U.S. election-related material would be released before Election Day. The Washington Post reported that, and if I may quote, Assange made some vague pledge for future disclosures. No, Roz, that's not what he said. Correction demanded. Typical of the fake news of the Washington Post. So this whole idea that Randy Credico was not my source has been disproved, that Randy Credico couldn't have been my source because he didn't meet Assange till August is proven irrelevant, and the fact that he tells me in the text messages that Assange has concerns about his own security and that that was the reason for the delay between October 2nd and October 7th for the release of the bombshell material. It's all there for you to read. Then there's the other falsehood that somehow I, along with my colleague Jerry Corsi, knew about the NBC Billy Bush grab them by the genitals tape and somehow communicated to WikiLeaks so that they would release their material to change the public narrative. That is a fairy tale for which there is no evidence whatsoever. In fact, if on October 2nd, actually the 3rd in U.S. time, Assange had already announced his schedule for future releases. I knew nothing about the NBC disclosures. I was as shocked about them as everyone else. And yes, I feared that they would damage Donald Trump's candidacy, which, strangely enough, they did not. But the idea that I somehow reached out to WikiLeaks and coordinated their disclosure in order to change the public narrative, well, that's just delusional. There's no proof about that whatsoever. Now, some may say, well, you spoke to Jerry Corsi on the 7th and the 8th of October. Yes, true, but not about that. I also spoke to him before that and after that, many times. This proves absolutely nothing. What we have here is a mainstream media feeding frenzy. So, for example, Vanity Fair a week ago said, Paul Manafort is dishing on Roger Stone. But then ABC reported later in the week that Paul Manafort doesn't seem to have anything to give the special prosecutor regarding Roger Stone. So proof again that Vanity Fair is among the very worst fake news violators. You have to take what you see in the mainstream media with an enormous grain of salt. What you see is based on speculation, conjecture, and in many cases, wishful thinking. Yes, I am the conservatives that liberals love to hate. Maybe this is payback for 40 years of defeating Democrats. Or maybe I've been targeted because I wrote the Clintons' War on Women and because I co-produced the film Banished, the Danny Williams story, the true story of Bill Clinton's abandoned African-American son banished by Hillary. So I believe that I've been targeted for destruction, not because I have broken the law, not because I've done anything wrong, but because I stood tall for Donald Trump and I helped defeat Hillary Clinton. Now I need your help. Please go to stonedefensefund.com. My legal expenses in fighting the deep state could top $2 million. That's right, $2 million. This threatens to destroy me and my family personally, and therefore I need your help, not only to fend off the witch hunt investigations by the Senate Judiciary and Intelligence Committee, but the onslaught of Robert Mueller's investigation, which seeks to destroy my Fourth Amendment rights and is being led by a woman attorney who was Hillary Clinton's legal representative at the Clinton Foundation in the illegal email server and missing email case. So the same Democrats who say that Acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker should recuse himself based on his previous political activities now say it's perfectly all right for Hillary Clinton's personal legal attack dog to lead the charge against Roger Stone. Hypocrisy, thy name is a Democrat. I'm Roger Stone. You're on the InfoWars network, specifically on the Alex Jones Show. Please take a quick minute to go to the Infowars.com store now, because without your loyal support there, we cannot continue these broadcasts. Our Black Friday specials are really something to behold. Remember, we have no giant corporate sponsors. We depend only on you. So whether it is one of our great nutraceuticals, one of our T-shirts, one of our books, check out these specials now, but do your Christmas shopping at the Infowars.com store. Well, the Florida recount is over, and the results are pretty satisfying. Former Congressman Ron DeSantis, a supporter of Donald Trump and a strong critic of the Russian collusion investigation in the U.S. Congress, was elected governor of Florida by about 33,000 votes. Current governor Rick Scott, who ran for the U.S. Senate, was elected to the U.S. Senate by a margin of about 12,000 votes. And then, sadly, Second Amendment advocate Matt Caldwell, a member of the state House, who ran for the position of Commissioner of Agriculture, seems to have lost his bid to medicinal marijuana advocate Nikki Fried by around 6,000 votes. Two major victories for the Republicans, one major victory for the Democrats. Now, it's extraordinary that once again the election results came down to Broward County, which just happens to be my home county. There's big news in Broward County over the last 2 weeks. First, of course, is the ineptitude, the incompetence, and the corruption of the recount under Brenda Snipes, the elected supervisor of the Board of Elections. If I were a betting man, which of course I'm not, I would guess that Governor Ron DeSantis will exercise his authority to terminate Ms. Snipes and appoint a successor, which he has the authority to do. It's not as if we had no advance notice of the rank corruption and voter fraud that has manifested itself inside the Broward County Board of Elections. 2 years ago, in the Democratic primary for Congress, progressive Tim Canova, who was a Bernie Sanders supporter and was challenging the ever lovely Deborah Wasserman Schultz, was cheated when his name did not appear on almost a third of the ballots within the congressional district in which he was running. In some districts, more Democrats voted in the primary than are registered to vote in the district. And the Broward County Board of Elections steadfastly refused to give him the breakdown of early votes, the breakdown of absentee ballots, and the breakdown of Election Day voting. He went to court, and the courts ruled that Brenda Snipes had violated both state and federal law. In fact, the court ordered a recount, only to find out that while the case was pending in the courts, Brenda Snipes had skillfully destroyed all of the ballots, making a recount literally impossible. Now we have extraordinary additional news from Broward County. News that was first reported here on InfoWars and turns out to be correct. We found that during the Parkland shooting, the tragic Parkland shooting, that as many as 7 Broward County Sheriff's officers arrived on the scene but stood down along with Scott Peterson, the one officer who was assigned as a school monitor while active shooting was still going on. This was revealed in an extraordinary article, first in the Miami Herald. Now, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is zeroing in on Ron Gunsberger, the counsel to the Broward County Sheriff. They want to know whether Gunsberger is the man who coordinated the perjury of the BSO command staff who man to man went before the official inquiry and perjured themselves about whether there was any delay between BSO officers arriving at the school and entering to stop the active shooting. Now I learned that Gunsberger's domestic partner of almost 20 years has left him in anticipation of his impending arrest for directing the cover-up that caused the tragic deaths of 17 individual students. Why is it that Broward County seems to be the centerpiece of this kind of corruption? I think it's because we are essentially a one-party county. I think it is essentially because you don't have the checks and balances that exist with two-party government, where the Republicans watch the Democrats and vice versa. This county is so heavily Democratic that there is no oversight on behalf of the taxpayers. There is no balance. The one Republican member of the county commission, Chip LaMarca, quite fortunately, was successfully elected to the state house. He now is the only Republican state legislator elected from the county of Broward to go to Tallahassee. That means there will be no oversight on the County Board of Commissioners, no oversight on the Broward County Board of Elections. We saw this graphically when Republican observers were not allowed to watch the recount in violation of the state's sunshine law. My prediction for you is quite simple. I think Brenda Snipes will resign before the new governor, Ron DeSantis, can fire her. And I would predict to you today that the governor will also terminate Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel, who has profoundly disappointed me by his prevarications, because he assured me that there was no delay between the time that BSO officers showed up at the Parkland High School and the time they entered. They were standing by while active shooting was still going on. I do want to remind you, we have the War Room coming up, and we will be taking your calls. Hopefully we can put that number up on the screen for you. Owen Schroyer and I are going to be talking about internet censorship. We'll be talking about the Florida recount. And there you see the number for the War Room, 888-201-2244. Those are the numbers for the hotline on the War Room coming up in about 2 minutes. Lastly, folks, if you like the War Room, if you like the news with David Knight in the morning, if you like the iconic Alex Jones show, then please give us your support on the Infowars.com site. If you go to the Infowars.com store, you can do all your Christmas shopping early. Look at some of these terrific specials. Brain Force Plus, now reduced to $19.95. Silver Bullet, the best colloidal silver supplement available in the country today, only $14.98. Alpha Power, this builds stamina for the athlete. Survival Shield X3, superior to X2. One of Owen Schroyer's favorites, Bodies, a turmeric formula that helps with the aches and pains from hard exercise, or for people who have jobs where you're on your feet all the time. These are terrific stocking stuffers that you can get at extraordinary prices. You'll be satisfied with the product, but you'll be even more satisfied knowing that you're helping to underwrite the fight for internet freedom. You'll be helping to underwrite our struggle against those who would snuff out our First Amendment rights. So please, do your Christmas shopping at the InfoWars store. It's what Alex Jones would call a 360-degree win. You get great, effective products, and you help fund the fight for freedom. I'm Roger Stone. Thanks for joining me here on the Alex Jones Show.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
Fueling your body is hard work. That's why we've introduced the InfoWars Life Daily Digestive Pack to help you fuel it right. Combine Flora Life Everyday Maintenance and Carnivore to help you fuel your gut and body and take advantage of the powerful nutrients you receive. There's no better way to power your body. Flora Life is a powerful probiotic supplement with 20 of the most potent clinically studied probiotic strains. When paired with Carnivore, our incredible enzyme formula that helps you break down nutrients, these formulas fuel your gut and your body to help you fight toxins and stay fueled all day. These incredible formulas can help keep your body in tip-top shape in the fight against stress, age, and outside toxins. There's no better time to try Flora Life and Carnivore to see how well they can support your body. Don't miss out on the chance to fuel your body and support recovery. Try the InfoWars Life Daily Digestive Pack today.